In this video, we are going to learn the tangent properties of circle. But before we learn these properties, let's understand what is a tangent. A tangent is a line which is drawn, suppose this is a circle, and a tangent is a line which is drawn externally to this circle such that it touches it exactly at one point, and that point is called the point of contact. So what is a point of contact? Point of contact is the point where this external line, which we call as tangent, touches the circle. So there is no other point at which this line can touch the circle. It touches it exactly at one point, and we call that point as the point of contact. Now, our theorem 1 says that the tangent at any point of a circle and the radius through the point are perpendicular to each other. So, you see that OP is the radius to the circle, right? OP is the radius, and P is the point of contact because AB is the tangent to the circle, and tangent AB touches the circle at this point P. That's why P is called the point of contact. So this angle is always 90 degree. Or in other words, you can say that the line joining the center of the circle and the point of contact is a perpendicular line, right? This is a perpendicular line. Fine, this is our theorem 1. Then comes the theorem 2. Now, theorem 2 states that if two tangents are drawn to a circle from an external point, let's say P is the external point, from point P we are drawing two tangents to the circle, and B and A are the points of contacts of these two tangents, then PA will always be equal to PB. So how will we explain this? We can say that the lengths of the tangents drawn from the external point to the circle are always same, are always equal. Another is that the tangents subtend equal angles at the center. That means if these two tangents, which are equal in length, fall on the same circle, they subtend equal angles at the center. So you can say that angle POB is equal to angle POA, right? Another is that at that time the tangents are equally inclined to the line joining the point and the center of the circle. That we already know because this is 90 degree, because this is the line joining the radius and the point of contact. So this line will be the perpendicular line on the tangent PB, right? Similarly, O is the center of the circle and A is the point of contact. So OA is the perpendicular line to this tangent PA. So this will also be 90 degree. So can we say that the tangents are equally inclined to the line joining the point and the center of the circle, right? So in that case, we can say that angle PBO is equal to angle PAO, right? These were our theorems 1 and theorem 2. So now theorem 3. Theorem 3 states that if two chords of a circle intersect internally or externally, you see AB and CD are two chords of the circle. Right now they are intersecting inside the circle. That's why he's saying internally or externally, then the products of the lengths of their segments are equal. Now what does that mean? Let's understand that first. Suppose you have a line AB and there is a P point which is lying on this line. Now what is this point P doing? It's dividing this line segment AB into two segments. And what are those segments? AP and PB, right? AP and PB. Because of this point P, AB is divided into two line segments, AP and PB, right? So remember, whenever you have any point which is dividing a line segment into two parts, maybe here Q should be there. Suppose it's dividing it into two parts, CQ and QD. You can't say that Q is dividing CD into CQ and CD. You can't say that. CD is being divided by Q into two segments, CQ and QD. So Q should be there. Whichever segment you are taking, Q should be there. Here we have two segments, CQ and QD. Similarly, here you saw that the two segments were AP and PB. That means you have to be sure that P has to be there. It can't be AP and then AB. Fine. Now, here if two chords AB and CD intersect each other inside the circle, then the products of the segments of the chord. Now tell me, what are the segments of chord AB? Because of P, it has been divided into AP into PB. Those are the products of the segments of chord AB. Is equal to PD into PC. That's what this theorem says. P has to be there throughout. That you have to keep in mind, right? So let's repeat the theorem again. If two chords of a circle intersect internally, we will first take only internal part. Internally, when the chords are intersecting internally, then the products of their segments, product of the segments of chord AB are AP into PB, are equal, and the product of the segments of chord CD are CP and PD. So AP into PB is equal to PD into PC. Now let's consider a situation when these chords are intersecting externally. So then the situation will be like this. So this is my chord AB and this is my chord CD. And if I have extended them and they are meeting at a point outside the circle, that's what this externally means. Then what are the segments of the chord AB? AB? It won't be AB into BP. As I told you that P has to be there. It is AP into BP. Then also it will remain AP into BP is equal to CP into DP. P has to be there. It can't be CD into DP. So CP into PC. You saw that P is throughout there. You saw that P was throughout there. Why? Because of this P, the chord AB is divided into two segments. One is AP, another is BP. That you have to keep in mind. Then comes one more theorem. In this theorem, he's saying that if a chord and the tangent intersect externally, obviously a chord and a tangent will intersect externally. Tangent cannot go inside the circle. They have to meet externally. Now let's consider the chord AB. And there is this tangent PT. T is the point of contact. If you extend this chord, it will meet this tangent PT at point P. So when we have a situation like this, which situation? When a chord and a tangent intersect at the point, then the products of the segments of the chord. Now tell me, what are the products of the segments of this chord? So they are AP into PB. Then the products of the segments of the chord is equal to the square of the length of the tangent. What is the length of the tangent? PT. Then square of the length of the tangent. So let's read the statement. If a chord and a tangent intersect externally, then the product of the lengths of the segments of the chord is equal to the square of the length of the tangent from the point of contact to the point of intersection. Now here he is talking about the tangent. So which length of the tangent we have to take? From the point of contact to the point of the intersection. Which point of intersection? Where it intersects the chord. So let me repeat. If the chord and the tangent are intersecting externally, then the product of the segments of the chord, P has to be there because of P, chord AB is divided into two segments, is equal to the square of the length of the tangent, right? Alright, now we have one last theorem in the tangents, and we call this theorem as alternate segment theorem. Another name for this theorem is alternate segment theorem. Now what does this theorem say? It says that the angle between the tangent and a chord, you see AB is a chord and PA is a tangent to the circle, or PT is a tangent to the circle. The angle between the chord, now this is chord, and the tangent through the point of contact, you see, through the point of contact is equal to the angle made by this chord in the alternate segment, in the opposite direction. So which angle does this chord make in the alternate direction? This angle. So we can say that angle BAT is equal to angle ACB. So when is this situation possible? If the chord and the tangent, when they meet at the point of contact, the angle made by the chord and the tangent at that time is equal to the angle in the alternate segment, right? Let's take another situation now. Let's take chord AB, right, and tangent PA. This is the angle made by the chord and the tangent through the point of contact. Then which is the alternate angle? Which is the angle in the alternate segment made by the chord AB? This. So at that time, this angle will be equal to this angle. So we can say that angle BAP is equal to angle BDA, right? Let's understand it with the various situations. Say for example, I have a circle and maybe this is the tangent and this is the center of the circle, right? This is O and let this be chord of the circle, right? So this is chord A and this is chord B. This is the tangent, this is point of contact. So then this angle will be equal to the angle made by the chord in the alternate segment. So if this is X, this angle will also be X. Similarly, angle between the chord and the tangent, that's this angle, if this is Y, this will be equal to the angle made by the chord in the alternate segment, right? One more situation, when we have a chord and the tangent like this, let's say that this is the point of contact and this is P, this is Q. Then the angle between the chord and the tangent through the point of contact is equal to the angle made by the chord in the opposite side alternate segment, that's this. Similarly, if this chord makes this angle also with this tangent through the point of contact, then it will be equal to this angle in the alternate segment. So this will be the angle at that time, right? Now based upon these theorems, in the next videos we will be solving the sums based on these.